Good morning, Pre-K. Last week we started learning about subtraction. Do you remember what subtraction is? Subtraction is when we take things away. So if I have 2 markers and I give you 1 marker, how many markers do I have left? 1. Another example is I have 1 Pete the Cat puppet. And then I let you play with my Pete the Cat puppet. Here, you can play with it. How many Pete the Cat puppets do I have? 0. So subtraction is just taking things away. If your mommy gives you 2 cookies and you eat a cookie, you have 1 cookie left. Subtraction is taking things away. Take things away. We are going to sing a subtraction song, and then we're going to read a really funny Pete the Cat book. And Miss Stewart has a storyboard that we're going to use while we practice subtracting with Pete the Cat. Does that sound good to you? Perfect. So let's practice singing our 5 Little Monkeys songs. Ready? 5 little monkeys swinging on a tree, teasing Mr. Alligator, can't catch me. Along came Mr. Alligator, quiet as can be, and snapped that monkey right out of that tree. There's 5 monkeys, and he ate one. How many monkeys are left? 4. 4 little monkeys swinging on a tree, teasing Mr. Alligator, can't catch me. Along came Mr. Alligator, quiet as can be, and snap that monkey right out of that tree. We had 4, and he ate one. How many are left? 3. 3 little monkeys swinging on a tree, teasing Mr. Alligator, can't catch me. Along came Mr. Alligator, quiet as can be, and snap that monkey right out of that tree. We had 3, and he ate one. How many are left? 2. 2 little monkeys swinging on a tree, teasing Mr. Alligator, can't catch me. Along came Mr. Alligator, quiet as can be, and snap that monkey right out of that tree. We had 2 monkeys. He ate one. How many's left? 1. 1 little monkey swinging on a tree, teasing Mr. Alligator, can't catch me. Along came Mr. Alligator, quiet as can be, and snap that monkey right out of that tree. There was 1 monkey. He ate it. How many monkeys are left? 0. No more monkeys. Good job. So remember, we're subtracting. Just like the alligator ate the monkeys for teasing him, we're going to take things away. So we're going to read a story called Pete the Cat and His 4 Groovy Buttons. And the author is Eric Litwin, and the art is by James Dean, creator of Pete the Cat. So Pete the Cat has this cool yellow shirt with 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons. And what do you see? What's happening to this button? This button's popping off because his buttons are going to, whoop! His buttons are going to pop off. See how his button's on here and it comes off? So we're going to practice subtracting. Everybody say subtracting. Subtracting is taking away. And let me move this down so you can see Pete the Cat. Okay. Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons. Here's the title page. Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons. A whole bunch of buttons. Here's the dedication page. Pete the Cat put on his favorite yellow shirt with 4 big, round, groovy buttons. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 4. Pete loved his buttons so much, he sang this song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no. One of Pete's buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? He had 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 came off. How many buttons do you see? How many buttons are right here? 1, 2, 3. 3. 4 minus 1 equals 3. Let's see if we're right. 3. 4 minus 1 equals 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my three groovy buttons, my buttons, my three groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped up and rolled away. So we had 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1 popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? Left means that we subtracted. How many buttons do you see? 1, 2. So 3 minus 1 equals 2, right? 2. Let's see if we're right. 2. 3 minus 1 equals 2. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my two groovy buttons, my buttons, my two groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no, this shirt is not very well made. Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? He had 2 and it popped off. How many buttons do you see? 1. 1. Let's see if we're right. 1. 2 minus 1 equals 1. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My button, my one groovy button. My button, my one groovy button. What's gonna happen? I bet you now. What's gonna happen? Pop! Oh no. The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? How many buttons do you see? I don't see any. What does it mean if there's none left? 0. 0. Let's see if we're right. 0. 1 minus 1 equals 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and do you know what he saw? What did he see? If there's no buttons on his shirt, what is he going to see? His belly button! Look at his belly button! And he kept on singing his song. My button, still have my belly button, my button. I still have my belly button. It's all good. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no. We keep on singing. Good job. So, Pete started out with 4 buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when a button would come off, we would have to subtract it, right? That's all subtraction is taking away. So let's do one example, and then when we get off, when we're done with the video, you can make up examples for your mom or your brothers and sisters, but don't go bigger than 5. So we're going to say if Pete had 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons, ooh, colorful buttons, 4 buttons, and let's say 2 buttons popped off. So Pete had 4 buttons, and I take 2 buttons away. How many buttons does Pete have left? 1, 2. 4, take away 2 is 2. Let's try another one. Let's say Pete has 4 buttons and I want 3 buttons. So I'll write it up here so you can see. So if Pete has 4 buttons, 4, you see that? Does it need to be darker? 4 minus 3 equals. So if you have 4 buttons, like Pete has 4, let's take away 1, 2, 3. How many buttons are left? 1. 4 minus 1, 2, 3 is 1. 4 minus 3 equals 1. 4 minus 3 equals 1. Let's do one more, okay? Last one. I might give you a hard one. Pete has, how many buttons does Pete have? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say Pete has 4 buttons. And then Miss Stewart wants all of his buttons. I love buttons and I'll need them. So I'm going to take 4 buttons from Pete. Ready? 1, that's mine. 2, 3, 4. How many buttons does Pete have left? 0. If I have 4 and I take away 1, 2, 3, 4, how many buttons are left? 0. Very good. So when you subtract, all you're doing is taking it away. So you can do it with M&Ms, you can do it with Cheerios, you can do it with pennies. You subtract when you eat. If your mommy gives you 4 chips and you eat 3 chips, you only have 1 chip left. So we subtract all day long. So I want you to go around your house and think of a subtraction problem. So maybe you have a toy and you can practice with your brothers and sisters and say, if I have 1 toy and I give my baby sister a toy, how many toys do I have left? 0. But what if I had 2 toys and I gave my sister 1 toy? How many toys do I have? 1. So try to make up some word problems, okay? Just like Pete the Cat did in his song, or just like in our 5 Little Monkeys, how we sang the words. So try to think of a subtraction problem. Use your brains. Good job. I had a lot of fun reading and singing with you today. I'll see you soon. Bye.